This video, this video is brought to you by 9% and powered by Petty Vision Production. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Lego. I ain't here to wake nobody up. I'm here to unplug you.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. God loves.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title, we go get into that. But before we get into that, let me get into the chat. Gary, what up, though? My 33 brother, appreciate you. Official 1SP, what up, though? Hey, I was checking you out the other day, man. I need you to go live more. We need to rap. I definitely dig the conversation. I want to get on a panel and just, rap to you one day. Dope content. Y'all make sure y'all get over there and check it out. But, yeah, I'm still a little bit under the weather, but I'm addicted to this, right? I'm addicted to coming on here, talking to the people, just our little crew, and having these conversations, man. Having these, so I ain't gonna. Let me stop messing, because I be playing too much sometimes. But yeah, I am. I do enjoy it because I feel like having these conversations, we do it in a way where we have progression, so I enjoy that, and it's easier to find a group of people on here to do that with than in real life sometimes, even though, I got those people, it's not like this, it's different from having like 4 or 5 people on the phone, because we live in different states, than being able to come on here. Didi, what up, though? 755, what up, though? Appreciate you. Didi. Yeah, I ain't gonna be too long. I'm still like my head's still a little tight and stuff like that. I think I had an infection around my shunt, so I had to take antibiotics, and it just kind of threw me off for a while. But I'm getting stronger. The infection gone, so I'm good. It's just getting my body back. But I will be back next week, probably like Tuesday, Wednesday. I should be good to go. I've been trying to do an upload, but every time I sit down to do it, my son wake up. So I said I might as well just go live tonight. The last 2 nights I done stayed up trying to get this upload done. I just need to record it. But anyway, tonight, hypocrisy. What does it mean? Did it again. What does it mean to you? I gotta go fix that. But what does it mean to you is what I meant to say. What does it mean to you? And I'm honestly asking a question because a lot of times when I hear people say, or call people hypocrite, like in a bad sense, and I understand, hypocrisy. Commander, what up, 9? What up, 9? Appreciate you. And I know, being hypocritical is bad, but I think, again, like when we talk about manipulation, when you hear it, it's just a bad condensation behind it. But my question is, will you are practicing hypocrisy? Can that be a good thing sometimes, or is it always bad? Like, and I had these conversations because I think identification is key to everything. I don't think it's good enough to understand things, but you got to have an overstanding. So when you talk about being hypocritical is bad, and I'm going to use this example. Say if you have a drug addict, right? And you have a drug addict that's telling you not to use drugs while they're using drugs. Will that not be hypocritical? Right? would that not, if a person is doing drugs and telling me, I ain't crap because I'm doing drugs, is that not hypocritical? Right? But then I look at the intent. Like maybe they telling you because they see how I messed up their life and they telling you don't mess up yours. Now, if that's why they doing it, is they still been hypocritical regardless. But is that not good? Right? Like, is that not good? So I always look at the intent, and I just feel like a lot of times, I feel like this, honestly. I think everybody a damn hypocrite. I think everybody got everybody got the tendencies to be hypocritical. I believe that. I know that at any point in time, and I think it's the intent behind it, not if they being hypocritical, but why? There we go again. You know, the word always said, why, why do we have to? Why? Mike asked y'all why, but why? Why is this person being hypocritical? I think that tells the story. You know, because I mean it can be bad. People can be hypocritical to try to break you down. I think a lot of times people hypocritical and they just simply project it. That's one of the uploads I'm doing. I'm gonna talk about projection, so I'm gonna try not to talk too much about it. But I think a lot of times people just project themselves. You know, um, that's how I feel. There I go again. That's how I feel. People can identify a lot of things. Like you ever notice, like you ever observe someone who point out all the bad things in other people, but you look at them like, damn, you do all that too. Well, how you think they knew how to identify it? Because they do it. I used to always sit back like, damn, why you always pointing out stuff in other people that you do? I asked one of my friends that, and he swore up and down, well, I don't do it. I'm like, bro, yes, you do. You don't think you do it, but you do it. You know, so that's being hypocritical, right? But in his sense, he did it to, try to point other people. I think, in my opinion, is to tear people down. It's all about your intent of why you do something. Why are you doing it? You can do something that's perceived as bad, but for a good reason. And then like people, like this is what I don't understand too. Like I expect people to be hypocrites, right? Because if you may stand on something today and get some information about it tomorrow. And if you found out what you're doing was wrong, then you change, right? But in the initial change itself, if you was just doing something yesterday and you criticizing people tomorrow or today because you was just doing the shit yesterday, then that's hypocritical. But if you learn what's right and you change it, I mean, and then you start telling other people you shouldn't do this because you just changed yesterday, it's hypocritical, but is it bad? Nah. I learned better, so I gotta do better. And yeah, it's gonna be hypocritical until I can show that I consistently not do it no more, but I'm still right. I'm still right about it. So why even I don't know, man. I think people use these, like I said, you don't too much hear me calling people hypocrites or really saying too much about other people. Because I understand anything that I identify in people is a reason I can identify. I know that from myself. I see all the fucked up shit and people that I used to do. That's how I can identify it. I can identify it because I used to do it, or I used to be around people who do it. I can identify it because I'm aware of it. So either it's done to me, I did it, or I seen it done. But if I'm not aware, I can't identify. So even when people be pointing stuff out, I be thinking like, how you know that? Or how can you see that? Like you must be do that shit too, or you used to do it. That's what it be. BDB, what up, though? How you feeling? How you living? What up, Nine? But that's how it be. Either you seen it, you did it, or it was done to you. Some way you had to experience it to know it. Other than that, how do you know? So a lot of times, yeah, we all gonna be a bit hypocritical. Sometimes we do it because we know better. We just can't do better. I know people like that. They know all the right things to do. They just can't do it themselves. So they tell other people to do it. What's that old school saying? Do as I say, not as I do. Why you think the old school used to say that? Because they knew they didn't fucked up already. So they trying to get us not to go down the same path. But hey, that's the rule. That's their trip. But they know it's a bad trip and it's a highway to hell. So they try to steer you away from it. But they being hypocrites, right? But they doing it for a good reason. Sometimes, like, I don't know if this is just an experience you have in the hood. Sometimes there's people who don't value themselves, but they value you. They see everything in you that they can never be or they should have been. And they try their best to steer you away, even though they messed up people. I didn't understand that until I got older. I didn't even look at it like that. But when I matured, I understood, like, this person just couldn't do right, but they didn't want me to do wrong. They didn't want me to go down that same path. But they just, even though, they couldn't just do right. They just couldn't do it. Even though they knew what they was doing was wrong, and they told me not to do it because they knew what came with it. But they value me so much that they'll put themselves in danger to make sure I don't go down that path. Like, it's people out here, like, I experienced that. So I don't know if that's like some hood thing, because just the way I hear about people talk about society, I'd be like, damn, man, nobody never care about you. But I had so many people to show me love. I had a lot of people who show me hate, but there's so many other people to show me love. And I don't know, I just focused on that. I don't know. My wife said that's an innate skill. Like, I always see the silver lining. Is I always been like that though. That ain't something I don't know. I can't. I guess you can't. I'm really starting to believe, because I look at myself and I see how much I changed. But the more I experience life and the more I interact with people, I'm not gonna lie, man. I just truly believe that some people just they just where they at. You know, they just where they at. I believe some people are very special, and no matter what they go through, they go fight. They go do what they believe in. It's like some movie shit. That one person who just got high morals and values and won't break them for no. It's people like that in real life. It's people really like that, and it's sad because it's not that many. I see why they put shit like that in movies now. You know, I see it. King, what up, though? Yeah, I don't want this to be a depressing live or nothing like that. I want to speak power into people, but be honest with you, man. The more I sit back and observe, uh, I'm happy. We doing what we doing, but I just don't have like I'm losing more and more faith in humanity, man. I just feel like people enjoy being victims, man. I hear so many like people. I don't know, man. It's just a mindset. Like, people, they rather complain about what has happened, what's happening, than look for an active solution and try to make it better. Like, we can see everything that happened. We know what happened. But unless we talking about how to fix it, why are we even talking about it? That's just my mindset, right? Like, if I don't have a solution for it, it's not that I'm ignoring it, it's that I'm focusing on things that I can affect. We say that, we ask God for the strength and the wisdom to know what we can change and to know what we can't. We say that. That's like a saying, but people say things. Um, I don't know. People say things and hope one day they actually do it. Or people like to. I be like I've never thought. I did that live the other day. You know, we did that live about accountability. Kay asked a question, right? She said, "Well, what makes you?" Um, how did she say it? Because people will say that, and she right. She was 100% right. I just never looked at myself that way. Like I was actually saying something said that I've heard people say that, and now I'm thinking like, damn, people were shooting subliminals at me, and I ain't know it. But I just never looked at myself like that. Like I'm telling people how they should live, or I always said, I'm sharing or suggesting. This is just a different perspective, different way. But even then, people don't listen. So me just sitting up here talking about self improvement, people probably take that in a way. Well, what makes you an authority, or what gives you the right to say? People, that's how people think. But my intention was never to tell nobody if you or make anybody feel like if you don't do what I say, you're a bad person, or you don't have morals, or you don't have values. That was never my intent. But I can understand now, you know. And when she said that, I was like, and you know what I always say, I'm just sharing information. I'm not, but that's how people really think. Because people have said that around me, I just never felt like it was directed to me. But after she said that, I'm like, nah, I yeah, that shit was directed to me because I ain't even go get into that. But yeah, but even that, right? I look at it like this: if I'm doing something that you can't do, it's not that it can't be done. It's just you don't know how to do it, and that don't make me better than you. Because if I felt like I was better than you, I wouldn't even take the time to try to show you how I did it or got to the conclusion. If I felt like I was better than you, I wouldn't even waste my time with you. But people have these inferiority complexes, and you can tell because they say shit like that. Oh, they think you better. They think you, or what gives you the, well, if I'm doing something that you're not doing and I'm doing it at a high level, that's what gives me the right to tell you how to do it, right? ain't, ain't that why we go to like coaches and professional people, right? But I'm on YouTube and I'm saying, right? So what gives me, because I'm telling you in a way where you can see it for yourself, you can observe it. I'm not telling you you feel better. No, I'm telling you do these things and you might feel better, because I'm just telling you what worked for me. There's no guarantee, and everything I tell you, I always say, hey, it's work, it's time you got to put in, but the sooner you start it, the sooner you can finish. Right? But I always say it's work. Like this, it doesn't just come like hard work. It To build yourself a certain way, it don't come overnight. Sometimes it don't come in 5 years. It took me it took me to where I'm at today, mentally, spiritually. It took me a good 15 years. But what I'm telling you, if you never started, then everything is because lack of information. Exactly. And that's what Amber's Angels, and that's why I try to give out, as much. I don't know everything, but I do share what I do know, But sis made a good point. And shout out to Tay, because and that's why I love having those conversations with Tay, because her perspective, right? We all look at life uniquely, right? We all got our own experiences that shape our perception, the way we look at life, the way we interact now is because of the experiences we had prior. Now that can go either way. Those experiences could have made you a strong person, or it could have broke you. but that's why you think the way you do today. So a lot of times people think this is this is one of the I call it reality checks. I have with my client, right? If I tell you to go climb a mountain, what is your first thought, right? And this is why I do that, right? Because if your first thought is something negative of why you can't climb a mountain, maybe you have no experience, maybe you're afraid of height. But if your very first thought is why you can't do it, then that tells you where your mindset is. That tells you how you perceive things. Anytime I hear something, my first thought is how can I accomplish it? And sometimes while I'm thinking, that's when I figure out, there's really no route for me to accomplish this. But if there's a way, then I think of that way and I try it. But the whole thing is that I'm thinking critically of how to accomplish something versus thinking critically of why I can't accomplish something. That tells a lot about you, how you look at you. I don't think like something can't be done unless I try. And as a process of even doing that, first I have to analyze. I have to think of a way. I have to strategize. I have to plan. But do you see the difference? Then versus somebody, I give you another example, right? Yeah, people do need to speak their truth. Play the lady speak their truth. Afraid of judgment. Yeah. Tyler, what up, though? Man, I used to work at this. That's my bean buddy. This is other dude named Tyler I used to work with. I wish I could find him. He was a really cool young dude. This dude was like 6'7". He was Italian. He was like a model over in Italy and came to America. He was an interesting, cool dude. He built his car. He couldn't afford a car, so he went to the junkyard and started building the damn car. Like he had part, man. That dude, like I love creative and innovative people like that. But this dude was a model over in Italy and came here. I'm like, I would have stayed in Italy, but he didn't like the limelight. He just wanted a regular life. That's another story. If I wish I could find him so I can get him on here to tell it. But yeah, that's one of the practices I do with my clients, just to show them how do you think. Because if you go into anything with a preconceived notion that you can't do it, then you ain't gonna be able to do it. You will keep finding reasons why not to do it versus looking for reasons how to do it. But that just shows how you process things, how you what type of mindset you have, what's your outlook. Like when you hear people say, "Oh, you groups don't work. You can't be in groups." Like, why would you think that when it's been proven throughout history that groups work? It's been proven that groups don't work. We all been in groups that didn't work, but you never been on a team or worked in a group and you had success. But if you're thinking like that, this is why it's important to identify that. Because if you're thinking like stuff won't work, guess what you're going to do? You will put yourself in position also for things not to work. You almost set yourself up for failure. You start hanging around the wrong. If I say groups don't work, 9 times out of 10, I'm in an environment with people who I know I can't be in a group with. And if I have this notion that groups don't work, guess what? I'm gonna be comfortable in that environment because in this environment, groups don't work. Now, if I have a mindset that groups can work, right? Groups can work. I'm not gonna feel comfortable in an environment where I don't feel I can work in a group. So guess what? I'm not gonna be in that environment. I'm gonna go to a different environment where it's more group mind or like minded and more friendly for that. That's what I'm gonna put myself around. That's what's gonna be comfortable to me because that's what I want to see. That's what I'm perceiving. I'm thinking about this working, so I'm gonna put myself in position for it to work. This is how people work against themselves, right? When you have these preconceived, you're literally telling your subconscious, put me around people where I know I can't work in a group with. Put me around these people. Put me around people who don't like groups. And when you get around people who do like groups, this is where the paranoia sits in. When you already have a preconceived notion that something ain't gonna work, this is where they get this saying from. If it's too good to be true, it must be true. It must be too good to be true. So now even you put yourself around people who want to work in a group, but then you're gonna be looking for reasons. Oh nope, see, look, they didn't tell me about this. They hiding this from me. They doing this, they doing you gonna be paranoid as hell. Start making up things in your head, looking for shit to be wrong. Why? Because that's what you're looking for. Your mind is pre-programmed for shit not to work. So if you get around things that is working, you will be like, no, it's only gonna last for you gonna start making all these reasons up why it shouldn't work. And then some people will even go to a whole nother level and start sabotaging. I just want to test and see if it's really like this. So I'm gonna do no, now you're changing the condition of that environment. Now you're the problem. You're doing stuff like this is how it all works. That's how you this is why shit don't work. Because you get the wrong people, right? You'll be around the wrong people. So when I hear people say that, it'd be like, I'll never try to be in a group with them. I'm straight. You already got that preconceived notion. I'm straight. If you think groups don't work, then I understand. Joshua, what up, though? But beans come first. I recently did a lot of things that I said I could never do. And then I wonder why I waited so long. There you go. People need to say what works for one may not work for another instead of just saying something just exactly. See, Amber, that's what I'm talking about. That right there, because even me, right? There's a lot of things that I say and I tell people try it, observe it. It may work for you, it may not. I know I try to break things down to the simplest form, but I know everything that worked for me ain't gonna work for other people. But even if they try it, they may see something within it that they can utilize. It's plenty of things people told me to try to do. And I'm like, well, it ain't really work for me. But this right here, I did take that from it, or I took this from it, or now I'm doing this part of it. This part is useful. But that's because of the mindset. Even though it didn't work, I still seen uses for it, or I can utilize different things of it. But if I automatically say, "Oh no, that's just trash," I never be able to take nothing from it. And that may, when you try stuff, yeah, it may didn't work, but it may lead you down a whole nother path that does work for you. You know, no, I'm a life coach. I'm not a therapist. My sister a therapist, but not me. They trying to get me to go back to school. I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely thinking about it. I don't know if I want to go back to school. I really don't want to do the school thing, but that might be my path. I've been told ever since I was like in my 20s that I should go to school for psychology. But it's just something that always been good at listening and observing. Always been thirsty for knowledge, and I enjoy reading. So self study is that's what I like to do in my pastime is study. Just learn new things and humans. Oh my god! Um, like when you're a kid and you grasp the concept of like I was told humans are like flowers, and then you start seeing all these different varieties of flowers, and then you understand the synchronism, the correlation in between, like what he was the my uncle was saying. He was saying sometimes people look the same, but they're not the same. Everyone's different. It's different variety. Like you can pick up two of the same flowers, but it's something different about them, something unique about that one flower. That's how humans are. So even though, and then I got a psychology book and start learning about personalities, and then understanding how people can have multiple aspects of different personality. It just always interests me. And the older I get, the more I see. Just being aware of like personalities. Like if you ever hear me call someone a narcissist, I can tell you what type of narcissist they are. I'm not just gonna say they're a narcissist. I can tell you what kind of narcissist they are, even though I don't do that. But I'm saying if I chose to, that's how I would do it. I wouldn't just say, "Oh, they're a narcissist." No, because there's different forms of narcissism, and not only can I tell you why, but I can tell you how I got to that conclusion. I just think that's more responsible. Um, but that's coming from like I don't have a degree, but that don't take away that I've been studying like personalities and psychology since I was 11. So I don't have the paperwork, but I have the working knowledge. So um, well, if you understand and you like to read, do you think I could tell you some things going on with my life? Is the difference between a life coach and a therapist. Like think of a life coach like a coach, right? Someone who gets you ready for the game. A therapist is someone who's going to help you fix things. I would never practice therapy. I will give advice, but I don't practice therapy. But in my profession as a life coach, it's like I will sit down and talk to. Sometimes refer them to a therapist or a counselor because um, what they need I can't supply. That's not what I do. But I definitely hit me on IG. I do free consultations and I can tell you if you could benefit from working with me or if it's something you might need something more deeper, you know. But yeah, you definitely hit me on IG. I just recently had someone hit me. I gotta send them yeah, but that's just my thing. That's one of the things I do with my clients. It's just to help them see how you think. People don't think about that. You know, um, First thing I always think of how I can make something work when I hear it, and then once you think and rationalize, sometimes it's no uh, way it can work. You know, but a lot of times people don't even try or even take the time to think how they can make it work. So if you just jump to it, it don't work then because I have did stuff and it didn't work, and then was asked to do it again and it worked, and then I realized, well, the first time it could have been a couple things, right? I wasn't knowledgeable about it, but now I am. And then one time it was because I was with the wrong people. That's why it didn't work. So sometimes you may try stuff and it don't work. It might be the wrong time. You might not have enough information. There's a lot of reasons why things don't work, but when it don't work, people don't even take the time to analyze why it didn't work. That's a loss. I don't lose. I learn. So when stuff don't work out for me, it's not a loss. I'm learning from it. And learning, you even gain from a failure. So it's technically not a failure if you gain from it. People want to succeed in life. Well, you have to understand what failure is before you can really truly understand what success is. If you don't fail, you'll never truly understand success. You think you succeed. Like I like to tell people success is understanding how to accept failure. Because only till you accept failure, you won't really try to succeed. Because the first time you fail, you don't want to do it no more. It don't feel good. Yeah, it don't. It don't feel good, fella. So don't do it. Learn from it. Learn from it. And you know what? Sometimes failure is good because sometimes we go after things that truly it won't benefit us. I went after things in life that I failed at getting, and then I realized later I'm happy I failed at that because if I would have succeeded, my life probably would have been miserable. You okay? Now I'm being petty. It was this young lady I used to be in love with, right? When I was in middle school. I used to be in love with. I wanted to date her so bad. She would not give me the time of day. I tried on holiday, Valentine's Day, always for 3 years straight. Valentine's Day, all up until like I think it was like ninth or 10th grade of high school. I can't remember if it was 10th or ninth, but I know from middle school up until I think it was my ninth grade year of high school. Then I stopped trying, and then now that we older, I'm like I am so happy I didn't get with her. No, no, no. Wasn't what I thought it was, but I wanted her. Then I realized I just wanted her because everybody else wanted her. So you learn through failure. That's the only reason I wanted her because everybody else wanted her. I didn't even really want her. So now failure ain't because you don't succeed in some things. That ain't bad. It ain't bad. Even like my experience here on YouTube, right? I done went up and down and up and down and up and down, and it's always good, you know. The process, you know, because I've learned so much, not only about YouTube, but about myself. Uh, I enjoy practicing what I preach, and it's hard to do because of people. People make it hard. You know, you want to think you humble until you have to be humble. And it's hard, you know. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. Um, but yeah, I've learned so much, and when I say I learned about myself, um, all the things that people say about me, I've seen it on YouTube. You know, I seen a reflection of it on YouTube. That's what I learned about myself because I didn't. A lot of stuff people say, you know, they next to me, and a lot of times you think, you know, a lot of times people say stuff because they nice. You know, these are my family, my friends. You know, so they always say nice things about me. But total strangers that I don't know, when they can see the same thing, then is a reflection. And in a lot of ways, like I do look at myself as a humble person. I look at myself as a patient person. I know I'm humble and patient because I practice that. That I practice. But like even my intellect, I never really felt like, and I don't know, maybe because I put myself around intelligent people all the time, I never felt like I was like smart or knew a lot until I came on YouTube. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's good or bad. Honestly, I'm being an asshole, but I really don't know. But like even the way people think, I'm like, wow, I must have really been in a bubble. Um, I don't know. I feel like I've been in a bubble. Anita, what up, though? I appreciate that, Tyler. I appreciate that. You know, it's a lot. I'm trying to get them on here. I know a lot of my sister, my mom, everybody, even the people on here, man. Y'all be surprised. Like intellect is gauged in different ways, right? People just think like I'm not a good. Like I practice a lot of stuff and I study. That's why I know, you know. But I know people they can read something and retain it. I can't do that. I gotta write it. I gotta practice it. I gotta put it in a philosophy. I gotta make it make sense. I know people who can comprehend like this, like in the snap of a finger, they get comprehension. I have to work on that. You know, math, science. I know a lot of intelligent people. Law, like politics. It's different ways. It's different levels of intelligence. Mechanical. You know, even your knowledge about beings, Tyler. That's an intellect. That's the intellect, and that translates over. I'm pretty sure you do other things excellent because anybody who can dedicate themselves to one field usually stretches or that translates into other aspects of life. You know, so like intellect is get emotional intellect, social intellect. You're just being able to interact with people. Like I always say, my brother Gary, his patience is mwah. His patience is magnifique. Yeah, he got more patience than me. Commander, you know, her social intellect, and she is very observant. Um, so it is like even like in real life, I put myself around people who have high intellects in different fields. You know, I enjoy that because then I have peers, right? I like having peers. I don't like having subordinates. I really don't. I need peers. You get into more discussions versus debates when you have peers. Commander, you already know. Petty Petty Piper in the house. Well, yeah, I enjoy intellectual conversation, different philosophies, being able to talk, people practicing emotional intelligence because a lot of these subjects be sensitive, right? I understand that, especially when you're talking about like ways of life, when you're talking about race. Like me, I don't believe, um, I don't believe people should separate themselves for difference of opinions. I believe people should separate themselves for different ways of life. Like if we just live different, then we just live different. It's gonna be some type of conflict, you know. Um, but different ways of thinking, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think because we have different beliefs. I'm not gonna say different ways of thinking, but different beliefs. You know, I don't think we should separate for that because people go believe in different things. But if you practice hate and I practice love, there's no point of us um, being around each other because eventually we're gonna have conflict. Those are two polar opposites that will always clash. That's why light doesn't exist in dark and dark doesn't exist in light. They both take their turn. You can cohabitate. Did I just make that up? But yeah, you can. I feel like this. You know, everybody go like me for instance, right? I don't have hate in my heart at all. I really don't. I have no malice. Um, Facts are facts, though. So I don't run away from facts, but I don't hate. So to love myself or love people to look like me don't mean I have to hate someone else. You know, and I don't believe in that. Like I can be proud to be a melanated man or black and not hate someone because they white or because they make even if I that's why I don't put blankets on people. It's hard for me to say a race of people did this or a race of people are like this. That's stereotyping. And I don't like that because I don't fit the stereotypes. I don't fit no stereotype. So I think it's unfair. I like to keep things on an individual basis. But saying that, we can't avoid facts like history. So I just think history is history. We learn from it. I'm not going to allow history to direct me to where I'm going. I learn from it. So I know how to navigate through it. So instead of hating white people because of history, I just don't deal with white people who I don't vibe with. Just like I won't deal with black people who I don't vibe with. Because if a person go hurt you, they go hurt you no matter what color or race they are, no matter what belief they. If they bad people, they bad people, and they exist in all different shapes and sizes and colors and all that. And me, I practice my art, so I try not to disrespect nobody. And I understand everybody got their own individual experience, their own plight. I know some white people who experience in America is 10 times worse than mine, and they white, and they in America, but their experience in life is 10 times worse than mine. They've been poor, they've been raped, they've been abused, beat by cops, spit on. They've been treated just like black people, but they white. And I know black people who had their experience in America is better than white people. They've been wealthy. They ain't been affected by racism. I know some black people will tell you there's no such thing as racism because they haven't experienced it. This ain't funny. It's so ignorant, bro. I had to laugh. I had to laugh. Um, it was this black dude. He was a nurse anesthetist, right? Well, he was a student. I don't know if he graduated or not, but he didn't grow up in the hood. His parents, his mom was a doctor. I forget. I think his dad was an engineer. So he been privileged his whole white life. He lived around white people his whole life. They never called him out his name. He never experienced it. Went to college and everything. Never experienced racism. He got pulled over by the cops. Cops treat him well. Never experienced it. He told me racism who had never experienced it. Even if they seen it on TV, even if they heard stories they never experienced, it's hard for them to comprehend. And that ignorant statement, he said, because I know rich black people who experience racism. Just in your life experience thus far, you haven't experienced it. So to say there's no such thing because you haven't experienced, that's arrogance. But that'd be hypocritical because I think everybody do that. Everybody will do that because they haven't experienced or they have no experience of that experience. Serious, what up, sis? What up, sis? Appreciate you. Yeah. Oh, you had a seizure last night. I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, that's why I'm feeling better, serious. I'm feeling a lot better. My blood pressure is still kind of bothering me. I think it was the medication I'm taking, but I got to take it. I had an infection. I guess it was around my shunt. My white blood cell count was high. I kept like having like little blackout spells. So yeah, but I'm taking my medicine, um, getting some rest. I'm about to take my butt to bed in a minute. But yeah, me personally, I can't practice hate. I'm not gonna practice it. Even if somebody hate me, I just get away from them, and then that way I don't have to hate them. It's easier to get away. I was just talking to my wife about that too, and I was thanking her. I was thanking my wife because her marrying me or giving me kids, she gave me more reasons not to do stupid stuff. I'm just being honest. She gave me more reasons to think, you know, because before that, I mean, I didn't take a lot of things into consideration. But after being married, having the responsibilities of being a husband, now having the responsibilities of being a father, and to be a father, I have to be here for him. So I can't be capricious. I can't be impulsive. I can't just do something because I feel like it or I'm not having a good day. Just can't say something. So she gave me more reasons to be humble. So I appreciate her for that. And I'm thankful for her. My wife know how much I love her. Um, so yeah, I just had to tell her that. She was like, "You are so weird." I'm gonna send her some flowers to work. Thank you for having my babies. Like little corny stuff like that. Um, but yeah, she gave me more reasons, you know. So she just made my why bigger. So for me, it's important to keep improving, keep becoming a better husband, a better father. Not just for me, but for them. And then my son, being an example for my son. I want him to see being a man ain't easy. Shout out to HP. She did a dope premiere today. I appreciate that. Because being a man ain't easy. You know, and I know, even being a woman, right? Me being as a man, I don't know the plights of women. I don't know the daily struggles of women. So I know it ain't easy. But being a man ain't easy neither. I think even comparing the two, I think is asinine because it's different. It's just a different experience. So to say the man experience is harder than the woman's or the woman experience is harder for the man, I think is asinine. We all got our different struggles, and so comparing them, it doesn't do anything. Like, what does that accomplish? Comparing who has it harder. I just appreciate which one another endure. I think that's more important. Just appreciate, what the women have to endure, and women appreciate what the men have to endure. Um, because I know I would never be a woman, and I've heard women say I'd never be a man. So, um, yeah, unfortunately, we have those conversations. Um, because I don't know why people do that. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I don't really know. But yeah, I ain't gonna keep y'all too much longer. But I just wanted to say that, man. I think it's more the intent. I think everybody at some point in time um, has been hypocrites or will be a hypocrite at some point in time, and I just think the intent behind it. I think if we start comprehending the why, we stop looking at people so in a negative light. You know, uh, I just know that. Um, so yeah, I feel like we have to get to a point where conflict resolution is an option. If our intent is to do something, but then it's like who really trying to do something? Like who really trying to make an impact? Who really? I don't know. I don't know no more. I think more people just want to complain about problems than actually solve them. People find more reasons why things can't get done than why they can. So that's just where I'm at. I'm just doing whatever I can uh, to make my life better and the people around me. That's all I can do. So I'm down for talking about solutions. I don't care about complaining. If we had conversations, let's start having them for the right reason, and we can come together, have fun, entertain. We can do all that too. But um, I think if we ain't coming together, me personally, this is just where I'm at in life. And no offense to nobody, but if we ain't talking about solutions or we ain't having fun, I'm just not interested no more. I'm not. I can't. I'm not here to tear nobody down. If I don't like somebody, I'm just not gonna deal with them. That's it. I'm not gonna be making lives. Even when people was talking about me, I didn't make no live to tear nobody down. I rebutted, and I still feel good about that. But is a part of me like it was still a waste of time. It was a waste of time because I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't like the person, I would have turned it into a learning experience, and I would have pointed personalities and behavior. I would have pointed all that out. But I'm not here to break nobody down. But I will do that in a rebuttal if I didn't like the person. But if I like the person, then I feel like it's a waste of time because all I'm gonna do is rebuttal what they say. I'm not here to tear nobody down. Even if they try to tear me down, you're not gonna tear me down. That you ain't gonna do. You can't do. I don't think a MF on this planet can break me. I really don't. And I'm not out here threatening or trying to get. I'm not even on that time. But I know the way I built myself. And I know what I've been through, and I know what I healed from, and I know what made me stronger. So there's no shame to my game. It is what it is. I'm not perfect, but I'm in the process of being perfected. I am in the process of perfection, but I'm not perfect, and I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be the perfect husband for my wife and a perfect father for my kids and a perfect coach for whoever hired me. I'm working towards that. Anything else I really don't care about. I really don't. But I'm not gonna let nobody stop me for being great. I'm not. So no, I'm not on here for no fuck shit. I ain't trying to screw nobody. I don't care about no tearing nobody. I want everybody to win. If they winning with me or winning without me, I want them to win. Because if you do it, even if I don't do it, if you do it, you can inspire somebody else. I'm This shit sound like some hippie shit or some cliche shit, but I'm really in this to win. I want other people to win too. I want to win with people. I wish we can all win together. I wish we can all click up and make each other stronger and better. If I could have it my way, that's what we'd do. We'd just build a nation where people wanted to work. That's why I keep saying the tribe, the tribe, the tribe. Everyone benefits in the tribe. Everyone wins. I wish we can do that. Unfortunately, that's not the way the world's set up. And I understand that. But I know it's people willing to do that with me. So that's why I keep coming on here. That's why I keep screaming 9%. That's why I always show the people who did say, hey, I want to rock with you. That's why I always show them love. And I will always show them love. And whatever they need, I'm there because we're a tribe. And I set the example by doing things. I can sit up here and talk all day, but name something that I talked about that I ain't put into play or I'm not trying to put into play. When I said I came on here to build a network, I always tried. But outside of me, I can't control nothing. I can't control nobody. So the only thing I can do is be consistent and wait for the right people to show up. That's all I can do. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to beg nobody. I ain't doing none of that. But I will be consistent in what I'm doing. And if people say, hey, you know what? I see what bro doing. I want to be in on it. I'll be here. But I'm serious about this. I'm serious like serious name. Have a good one, Tyler. I'm serious about it. That's why I haven't deviated yet. I joke, I play, we have fun. I told you we go do that. We go educate, we go motivate, we go inspire, and we go entertain. That's what we go do. I think it's room for everyone. It's just, does everyone want a space in the room? Like I said, it's the mindset. If you got a mindset that things don't work out with groups, it's not. You go find reasons for it not to work out. No condition or situation is never going to be perfect, but we always say that. Nothing is perfect. So why do we want everything to be perfect? If we say nothing is perfect, why do we expect people to be perfect? Why do we expect situations to be perfect? I never understood that. And before I get off, I want to say this too. Nate the Great is in the house. What up, though? You almost made me say Nate, baby. I guess you did make me say it because I just said it. What up, though, Nate? My AI, bro. I was in the chat earlier. Every time I was about to type, my freaking phone rang. I've been trying to itching to get on the panel, but my wife worked this weekend. But I'm gonna get up there with you. Um, but yeah, but this is like this whole P Diddy thing, right? Like now, I done talked about it a little bit, right? So it's a couple ways we have to look at it, right? Right. Dude is scumbag. We know that, right? All the stories we heard prior to this, the way he treated people with the contract, the way he treated employees. We ain't even talking about um, the sexual stuff. We talking about just the way he treated other humans, the people who trusted him, the people who looked up to him. You know, you got to deal with all that negative juju. Now, was that against the law? I don't know what he did as far as that, but that ain't what he got indicted for, right? He ain't get indicted for none of that. He got indicted for the sex trafficking and stuff. So the way he treated people, that's not against the law, you know, but it's against morality, right? But it's not against the law. So judging, even though the way he what he did to Cass, all this stuff is despicable. I never defend none of that, right? Never defend none of that. But when you're talking about law and morals are two totally different things, right? And it's a consistency thing within these laws that is not being showed. The consistency of how they treat one people and how they treat other people with the law. We're not saying a consistent. You know, it's not consistent. The stuff that Diddy did, I mean, they talking about having all this baby oil. Look, being a freak, like it might be morally wrong, but it ain't against the law. Him being, him using his power is wrong. You know, is it against the law? Not if the people consented. If he didn't if people took money or took the potential of him doing a favor and did whatever they did, if that's an exchange, that's a transaction. Is it morally right? No, but it's not against the law. If he forced someone to do it, if he, like they said, drugged them, yeah, that's against the law. That's against the law. But if they willingly took the drugs, no, that ain't against. They took it. You know, people getting their emotions all tied up into this. Like, and I hate to see, um, because like another aspect, like, what did y'all expect? Like, why is this a shocker? This stuff been going on. Like some of the stuff, like you heard about Charlie Sheen, Brad Pitt. I mean, not Brad, Tom Cruise. Like we heard these stories about all these people, these celebrities, the star, these weird parties. It ain't just celebrities. Regular people do that stuff too. It's people on YouTube. It's probably somebody in the chat to be doing that. Dope boy, what up, though? It's probably somebody. Look, man, I told y'all this chick I was dating took me to this weird party where people got on masks and people just pumping and humping. Like I'm straight. Regular people. I mean, this stuff been a freak. Look, man, I'm not saying it's morally right, but I'm telling you, it ain't against the law. Now, I don't know. I seen the charges, but when they present the evidence, if it is what it is, then it is what it is. But if they trumping it up, and I don't think people should be. I always say just let the trial is going to court. Let the courts handle it. Mentexo, what up, though? Mentexo in the building. What up, though, bro? But yeah, it is. Now I like. I'm not taking up for Diddy. I'm just saying, like a lot of stuff that people complaining about or pointing out. It ain't against the law. It's just not. If them people, it's like Instagram models. They getting flown out to Dubai and getting pooped on. If that's what they choose to do, then I don't feel bad for them. They chose to do that. At some point, even if you taking advantage of someone because they want to be rich and famous, that's their fault. I don't feel bad for them people. Because if you accept what they willing to do to you, then you took the easy way out. You accepted that. Unless you were forced. Now, if you was forced, that's a horse of a different color. But all this taking advantage of, and I don't believe in that. I don't believe, oh, they took advantage of me. I was vulnerable. Well, you shouldn't have been vulnerable. That's what happens. You let a gazelle be hurt around some lions. You think the lions gonna look at it like, oh, well, let's go get another one that's vulnerable. They gonna be like, no, that's an easy meal. That's how life is. It's not about what's fair. It's about what exists. And if you understand that you're at a disadvantage, you better find a way to put yourself at an advantage and take the diss off. That's just life. That's just life. Maybe it was. I don't know why they. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Take so condolences, man. Condolences. Rest in peace to the ancestor, man. Rest in power to moms, man. Yeah, rest in power, brother. So, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Mentex. So you got my condolences, brother. Definitely got my condolences. We only get one of those, man. We only get one of those. But let me get my butt off here. But I'm gonna try to come back. I probably won't be back. Hey, we'll be over on Gary's Sports Channel tomorrow. Y'all come check that out. I'll be over there either in the chat or on the panel with him. I don't know if he let me up. Sometimes he only let me up if I'm being good. So yeah, he might let me up. Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah, you can contact me a couple ways. One SP appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you. Hey, Mentexo, bro. If you need to talk, bro, you got a couple ways to hit me up, bro. Definitely. If you need to talk, I'll be yeah, you can hit me up anytime tomorrow if you need to talk, bro. Yeah, but let me get my butt off here. My head getting tight. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. 1SP, y'all make sure y'all get over there. Y'all go show my bro Mentexo some love. Shout out to everybody who popped in. My bad, my head getting a little tight. Dee dee. Yeah, my head get tight. I gotta go make some. I ain't even got no coffee made, so I gotta go make some coffee. But I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. Y'all, I can't even say my outro, but y'all know what I always say.